Oh man, is it tasty! Hen of the woods with a balsamic glaze, a little bit of arugula, some pepper. Whoo-wee. Who you kidding? If you're interested, stick around. Okay, so before we get started, fall is the best time of year for me. I just absolutely love it. I mean, we just put some fresh garlic in the ground, planted that. And the garden, speaking of the garden, all kinds of goodness coming out of the garden right now. Plus the mushrooms. I mean, from lion's mane to chicken of the woods. I found a nice flush of chicken of the woods the other day. Some comb tooth I found. Hedgehogs are out there. Not to mention my favorite, hen of the woods. I mean, they're just popping all over the place. So anyway, let's get after it. Let's go ahead and put this recipe together. Okay, so I went out earlier today and I found some hen of the woods, brought it back to the house, and I had to clean it up. And this particular mushroom was super messy. And I have had a lot of comments on cleaning this particular mushroom. So I just want to address it a little bit more because this one was so dirty. What I do is basically just fill the sink all the way up with water. Then you want to submerge the mushroom. Now, it's really not that complicated, but depending on how dirty the mushroom is going to determine how many times you're going to go through this process. So what you're going to do, fill it up with water, submerge the mushroom, let it sit for, I would say, roughly 2 minutes tops. Then go ahead and drain that water, knock out on any of that dirt and debris, and then repeat the process just depending on how dirty the mushroom is. So for me, I did it 5 times a day. Usually you can get away with it about 2 or 3, but this mushroom was super dirty, especially on the bottom. I mean, it just had leaves, debris, sticks, bugs, all kinds of stuff. So anyway, take your time and clean it the best you can, but definitely don't soak it overnight or soak it for 2 or 3 hours. Don't do that. That's something, it's just gonna be less desirable when you cook it. All that mushroom is gonna soak up all of that water, and it's gonna be a pain. So definitely just do it for 2 or 3 minutes. You can repeat the process, but don't let it just sit there. Okay, so this recipe calls for arugula, and we grow a lot of it. I say we, actually my wife grows it, but I went out to the garden, harvested a little bit of it, super fresh. Very excited about that. Brought it back, cleaned it up. Okay, so I just cut a few slices of this hen. Not a lot, just a few fronds. I took a few fronds right off the top. And anyway, that should be more than enough. Roughly 2 cups is all you're gonna need for this particular recipe. Okay, we're gonna start with 1 tablespoon of olive oil. We're gonna add an onion and a little bit of garlic at this point, and some ground pepper flakes. And then we're gonna let that go just for a little bit, wait for those onions to get a little more translucent. Add in, at that point, the hen of the woods, and then cook that until the mushroom is fully coated, and kind of, you wanna start seeing a little brown come around on it, kind of caramelize it a little bit. Okay, so next we're going to add a 1/4 cup of chicken stock, and then a 1/4 cup of sherry. You're gonna blend this in real nice. You're gonna let this simmer for roughly until half of it's evaporated, basically. At that point, once you get your liquid where you need it, you're gonna add the arugula. Now, you don't have to use arugula. You can actually use spinach if you're not a fan of arugula. I like arugula. It's got that little spiciness to it. So anyway, you add the arugula, and let that kind of wilt down. I don't know, minute or 2 tops. And then at that point, you add some salt and pepper and rock and roll. You have got it. It is a great side dish. And it's a good standalone dish, in fact. Now, I like to add the balsamic glaze to it. You don't have to do this, but for me, I really like how that flavor comes together with the arugula being, has its own little spicy thing happening, and you've got the red pepper flakes in there. Then you've got the hen of the woods, the mushroomy flavor. with the sweetness of the balsamic glaze. So it all just kind of goes together real nice. Look at the love. Look at all that goodness up in there and the health. Ooh. Let's get a little bit. I really like how that balsamic kind of sweetens it up and tones down the peppery flavor to it. But it is super good. Wow. I need some wine. Oh, yeah. Right on. That is right on. And I know you will enjoy it. Into the woods. Hey, appreciate you spending your time with me. I really do. Please don't forget to subscribe and slap that like button. I'll talk to you.